Today's topic, Joe Rogan made some comments about video games. I want to take a quick look.
Who?
Joe Rogan.
Thank you.
Joe Rogan, you're going to make sure that we're going to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hey, my haircut is a 1 and 2.
I found, I don't know if you agree with this, there were a ton of kids along the way growing up as I was building my business that would say, oh, I'm not into this, I'm not into that, kind of like you described yourself.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything because they're looking for that thing. And I would argue, do something. Do fucking something until you find that thing.
Yeah, I've never been that kid though. I've always been into things. I always was into art or I was into something. I always found things that I was interested in. Just none of them seemed like they were normal things that other people wanted to do for a living, like the path, like a career path. But I think that there's a lot of people that don't have any. There's no one. They're not modeling their life after someone that they see that they admire. Someone that's successful, someone that is doing something that they enjoy and love. Sometimes kids have to see that. Right. And if their parents are living a bullshit life and their neighbors are living a bullshit life and most of their family lives a bullshit life, they just lay around, you know, and then they seek refuge in drugs or video games or something that stimulates them. And video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fun.
Addictive.
And you don't, I have a real problem with them. And you do them and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere. Right. It's like you could do like martial arts, right? You could learn jiu-jitsu. You get obsessed by jiu-jitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jiu-jitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well. Right. You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got a nice family, and like, that's the future. This way, you're doing something exciting and fun, and you don't. Or you could just be playing fucking video games. 3 years later, you could be that same kid just playing video games, waiting for the next whatever the game is, you know, next Xbox game to come out, and you're gonna waste your time.
You have children. I have children, and it's a big battle in the house. Yes. And my kids, I don't know if you're going through this, but my kids are now saying, well, Dad, this guy made all this money with this video game. That's
real too. That's
right?
real too now.
So like, that's 1 in a billion, kid. Like,
I don't know if it's 1 in a billion, but, you know, look, I heard the same argument about comedy.
Eggs. It's going there, but
What?
because the way he's talking about video game is like a lot of immigrant parents talking about either comedy or arts or singing and this and that. Not a lot of people make it. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's really hard. And he's making an argument that, you know, you could do jiu-jitsu and be obsessed about jiu-jitsu, and then after that or you could do the jiu-jitsu and just do jiu-jitsu because you want to do jiu-jitsu. You don't have to necessarily do a career with that thing. Maybe you're still going to be 3 years later down the line and you're still going to be at your jiu-jitsu class, and you're thinking that because people do things for different reasons. I understand when he's saying that video games is a problem. Video games can be a problem depending on a lot of factors, right?
Not everything is on the same level. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I'm not going to compare learning karate from a young age to me playing Metal Gear Solid.
I understand.
Right,
But
so
you do have eye-hand coordination. You do have different skill sets. I'm not saying it's the same thing but you can find the same things in that. You know, yes, martial arts are based on, you know, advancing. Well, if you don't advance in a game, you don't go nowhere as well. It could be a goal. It could set some things. For some people, it could be a problem. It depends how you manage it. And for some other people, it can be something that helps them.
Coming from that background, here's why I slightly disagree. The addictive nature and the length by which you can do video games makes it very different from other activities. I can only do jiu-jitsu in a day for oh so long. Mm-hmm. I can only do karate in a day because the physical body will wear down eventually. You can't just be there for 12 hours. Yeah, people can do benders on video games where they go for 36, 48, and the highly addictive nature, and also the way video games are structured, especially nowadays, is that it's always meant to incentivize you with a little win here, a little win there. Get your dopamines going so that you feel like, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing.
I'm not saying no.
It's like saying gambling going to the casino could be the same thing as jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
no,
it's not.
Because the way it's structured, like, okay, take FIFA for example.
Yeah.
FIFA got these packs that you can buy, right? And they have this whole system where you have to.
Because it's EA Sports. It's in the game and in your pockets and in mine now. Oh, now you're broke.
It's bad. And so I think there is a bit of that difference. Now, again, I'm also saying this from the side where it's like video games can be just a form of entertainment like a movie.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
You know, you spend 2 hours, you enjoy a beautiful experience, you come back the next day, you do a bit of progression. I think most things in moderation are great.
Yeah.
Most things in moderation are great. When it comes to video games, a lot of people are highly addictive and spend tremendous amounts of time on it.
When I see someone playing video games and I'm like, yo, very like not doing anything, I just question myself, is the video game really the problem? Or that person has deeper issues? Weird parallel I'm gonna do, but bear with me. I've noticed that a lot of alcoholics, when they stop abusing, whatever, they do some other thing as intense, whether it's sports or eating or it's something else is replaced. So it was not so much the drug was really the thing that was bad because it's just bad all over, but there's something in them that is like they have an addictive personality. You understand? So when I see someone with the video games, and again, I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to look at different perspective here. Is it the video game or is it something bigger than that? The way he puts things, it's like video games are bad. They're a real problem. Yeah, there's people that have a video game problem, but it depends how you treat it. You know what I mean? I'm not the ones to be like, yeah, video games are a problem, they're bad, and they're really this and that, and you're not gonna accomplish anything. I would put like a little bit of water in my wine.
Here's what I
dilute it. I would never do that.
A lot of people spend a lot of time playing video games. Yes. A lot of people spend a lot of time watching just random YouTube videos.
True.
Okay? And having been through both of those cycles before, where you're spending hours and there's not really much, it's just constant fucking neurons firing, and it's just empty. Like empty calories. That's the best way I can put it.
That's what you're saying.
Obviously, it's not good to spend all your time doing that. Whereas you could be productive with something that's more difficult, maybe not as instantly rewarding, but definitely builds your character. I do think there's something to that theory. And I actually had to quit video games to be a more productive person. I couldn't do it in moderation because the games were too addictive, too good. The golden era of PS2 was too much for me to handle. There was video games all the time. And so I had to kind of distance myself from that in order to feel better and to feel more productive. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people who can't handle it in moderation. They come home from work, they play 2 hours of Call of Duty, they feel good, that's their entertainment. That was their Grey's Anatomy. 2 episodes, they're good to go. Right? Like everyone's got if you can do it in moderation, everything is good. But there's a lot of people who don't know how to handle it in moderation. True. Who do everything in excess.
So is it the people that are a problem or the video game itself? Because you replace the video game with something else, and it's going to be there. Well, the addictive personality is going to be there.
Yes, but also not everything is created equal. Some things are more addictive than others. Casinos are built in a way to be addictive.
Yep.
Right? The sounds, the bells.
The fact that
the free drinks.
They don't put no clocks. There's no window.
Yes.
My own parents were like, do you know how few people make it as a comedian? I was like, okay. Does anybody make it? Somebody makes it, right? They figure out how to do it. They make a living. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Just stop. I know what I'm doing. I was real lucky that my parents were not around very much, so I didn't get much advice. So I figured it out myself. So there was no one telling me I couldn't do it.
Got it.
So
Greenfields.
I was like, I'm gonna find my way through this. And since no one's telling me it's impossible, no one's telling me I can't. Occasionally, I would hear someone say, "What are the odds?" I'm like, "Listen to this loser." That's my thought. Was always like, that guy's a loser. Like if you think like that, you're a loser. But there are kids that make a lot of money playing video games. But the thing is, like, you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to play multiple video games because the one video game that you get really good at, what are the odds that's going to be around 5 years from now? Right. You know, like what's the big one now? Like Fortnite? Is that? Do they make money off of that? Yeah. Yeah. And then there's Call of Duty. They make money off that. What's the big money? StarCraft used to be the big one, right?
Nigga, that's an old ass reference.
That's a long ass.
This old ass.
That's a long ass. StarCraft.
Man, original OG RTS. That's one of the boats, but no.
But I'm mad at him because he laid off. He laid off the video game.
You know what his call to fame is? Quake. Nigga, that's old.
League of Legends, Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike is it's still the Half-Life mod.
Yeah, variations of it have come out, but it's still basically the same exact game.
They don't make money off Quake though, right? Not really.
Nah, really.
But I tell you, he always brings up Quake.
Do they make money off Mario Brothers? Do they make money off of that in the esports? Do they make money off Dr. Mario? Do they make money off of that?
God damn.
Do they make money off Galaga? Might as well just bring them out all. But it's okay. I get it. You're old as I wouldn't say that it's absolute and it's, all video games are bad and this and that. Then again, I don't think he exactly said that. And he put, at the end, I was able to be like, yeah, you know what? You put it in better words than I ever would. So I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just balance. Balance. Especially as a young person, ideally you want to be trying a couple things. You want to be doing different stuff. I'm not saying deny young people the access to video games. Not at all. I'm saying give them a wealth of experience. But it'll help define them as a person, and it'll help them grow. That's the only thing. But listen, I got friends who stream for a living. They make millions a month, and I'm happy for them. And that's why I wouldn't say that you can't make money from video games or you should stop. No. Okay, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that there is nothing healthy about playing video games for 8 to 10 hours, even for my streamer friends. All right, don't tell me there's a cost to it, and if they weren't making money, they definitely wouldn't do it. Okay,
yeah.
So all I'm trying to say is find a good balance because it can have a really bad toll on you, and I think especially for young minds, a wealth of experience is always the best thing. Before coming to this, if I didn't do all the other stuff that I did, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today doing the content the way I'm doing it now. I think people went at Joe a little bit hard for these comments, but I think when you take it in the greater context,
I see what he's saying.
He's just saying
there could be a problem.
It can be a problem, and it can be highly addictive. And you know what? Some gaming companies have actually been sued by governments for making their stuff too addictive and making it gambling-like. I love video games. They were a huge part of my childhood and my personal development. So I'm not shitting on it at all. If you play video games, keep playing, enjoy it. Just always remember moderation is key. Don't get comfortable spending your whole day on video games because it's noise. All right? You know what I'm talking about. If you play video games, sometimes it's just noise. You're not even having fun, but you're so used to just you can't stop. If that's what's going on, take a couple steps back.
I got cycles. In the winter,
yeah,
I'm going to play video games. But then
yeah.
Summer, I try to enjoy myself in my life. But I get it. I get what Joe was saying.
Well, these are our thoughts on video games and being too addictive, but we want to hear your opinions. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.